again. We praise the Most High for the light that He has given unto us. We bless His holy name for the life that He has given unto us. For no one has enough money to be able to buy life.
That's right.
If He was to sell it to us, who will be able to pay? For there are millions of people dying. There are hundreds of thousands of people at the hospitals. Many are very rich. You have millionaires, you have billionaires, but they cannot buy their health. They cannot buy their life. For it is Elohim who giveth life unto man, and it is the same Elohim who taketh life away from man. So now that we are able to see the light, we must do the work of Him who has called us.
Amen.
For behold, the day will come that He will come and knock at the door, and He will tell us it is your time to also go to where you came from. And then dust shall return to dust, ashes to ashes. And the soul shall ascend up unto Him who made him. And he shall be judged according to the things that he did when he was alive, when he dwelt in this temple called body. What was it used for? Did he do the work of Him that has called him whilst it is light? Or he went about doing crazy things because of the affairs of this life? Did he remember his Creator in the days that he had abundantly, or he forsook Him because he had many riches? We bless Elohim for all the things He has done for us.
Amen.
For I always say that we deserve to die.
That's right.
But He always gives unto us this ability to come before Him once again, that we may perhaps change our lives and glorify the name of Him who liveth now and forevermore. So in the name of the Almighty, the Most High, the most merciful, the most glorious, the most wonderful, the most dreadful, all praise be unto His name. Once again, I bear witness that there is but one Elohim.
That's right.
Beside Him, before Him, after Him, there is none.
That's right.
It is only but this Elohim who created the heavens and the earth. And by His breath He has established all the foundations of this world. That the waves of the sea will begin to go down when they approach the foundations of the earth. It is only Elohim who is able to do this. So we bless Him for all the prophets from Moshe even unto the last prophet of the Old Testament, even John the Baptist.
That's right.
Amen.
Then we bless Him for all the apostles and the epistles and the renewed covenant, also known by many as New Testament.
That's right.
We bless Him for all of the scriptures, for His truth. And then we can never thank Him enough for the Messiah who died because of us. He said that I have come into this world, and behold, I who created the world, I don't even have a place to sleep. We bless Him for His life and the ability He has given unto us. For He said that, behold, ye worship many idols, and you went after strange gods. But because of His mercies, He remembered Israel, and He returned back unto His people, so that He may come and speak and seek also out His sheep. For He is the good shepherd. And we bless Him for always being the good shepherd, the husband of Israel.
That's right.
He's not the husband of the Arab nations, or the African continent, or the European continent,
That's right.
or any continent, but the husband of Israel, and through them all other nations shall be saved, found in the Old and New Testament. We bless Him for the many things He will do. And And we glorify him for the strength and the weakness that he has given unto us. And once again, we greet you wherever that you may be listening from, whether North Korea, whether Africa, whether Asia, Europe. We all must speak the same thing. For precept must be upon precept, line must be upon line, foundation must be upon foundation. Here a little, there a little, from the beginning of times. He does not contradict himself. But men, because of our own wickedness, we always try to find one verse to justify our own weaknesses, to justify our own falsehood. But it is written, let all men be liars, and Yah Elohim be a truthful Elohim.
Amen.
Amen.
So we bless him for the truth. We bless him for all the teachings we have covered so far, from the duties of the prophets, from who are the Hebrew Israelites, from rapture, from the great and dreadful day of Elohim. These are the things ye ought to hear them in churches. But nowadays we only focus on who can sing and who can pay more tithe. And yet all people are dying. We have also covered the laws and the grace. We broke down the 5 laws from Genesis to Revelation.
That's right.
That it can all be grouped into 5 different laws. If you do not understand that, you will always make the Bible lie because of your own wickedness. And we thank Elohim for all the people who are still interested in the truth. For you can bury the truth, but it will rise up.
That's right. Truth.
For in darkness, when you light on or you switch on the light, it will turn off all the darkness. So he said that, behold, darkness shall compass all the earth, but yet there shall be light from Zion, and no one will be able to prevent it from shining. So in the night you will see, when you watch the skies, you will see that every single space is full of darkness. But when the moon is shining, you will see it. When the stars are shining, you will see them. So let your light so shine before men, that men may see your good works, that they may glorify the Abba who is even in the Shamaims or the heavens. This is our testimony. This is our commandment, that wherever that we may go, whether you are working, that wherever that you may go, whether you are schooling, that wherever that you may go, whether you are a singer or a footballer, wherever that you will go, that your light will shine before men.
Amen.
That men may see your good works, that they may glorify the Father who is even in the heavens. Does your life glorify the Father who is even in the heavens? Does your behavior glorify the Father who is even in the heavens? Does the way you speak glorify the Father who is even in the heavens? Does the way that you think and perceive things glorify the Father who is in the heavens? Do you also use F words? Do you also use the words that gangsters and pimps and prostitutes use? Do you also dress like them, and yet you claim that you have been bought by a so-called price? Who bought you? When did you hear him saying to you that he has bought you? Who gave you authority to declare such a thing? For if you knew that you have been bought, then it means that you are not by yourself.
Amen.
For the one who has been bought is a servant or a slave unto the one who bought him.
That's right.
So why don't you obey the voice of the master who bought you? But now you declare and say that you are not under any commandments or law. Yet you declare that someone bought you. When the Messiah declared and said that anyone with heavy loads, let him come unto me, and I will give him rest. He didn't say, I'm taking away the yoke, and then all of a sudden you go. He said, I come and receive my yoke, and put it on yourself.
That's right.
For mine is a little bit easy. But you are at home declaring things that you are not under any yoke.
I'm free.
You are free to sin because of forgiveness of sin. Because of the blood of Jesus, so you don't care. Because you know that once you sin, you will be able to pray and pray in tongues and use the blood to cleanse your sin. But may Yah Elohim have compassion upon us all. For it is written in the book of Hebrews that behold, the one who planned before he sinned, when he committed a sin, there remaineth no forgiveness of sin for him anymore. Wow. But you have been told that it doesn't matter what you do, the blood is sufficient. But one day, when the watchman comes, one day, when you will like to open your eyes and see but you cannot see, one day when you will like to hear the songs of Zion and you cannot hear them, one day when you will wish to stretch out your hands and greet people but you can't, one day when you will want to go about walking but you cannot walk, then you will understand that indeed dust must return back to dust, ashes to ashes, but the soul, Yah Elohim, shall bring him into judgment. Ponder about these things, O poor soul. May the wicked abolish the law, but may the righteous tune in into the truth of the Almighty. Amen. And say unto wisdom that indeed thou art my sister, and wisdom and understanding my kinswoman. Yes, and the scripture said that behold, then they shall protect you from the strange woman who sings songs in Amsterdam, from the strange woman who sings songs in Europe, from the strange woman who can bring you down because of the way that she cooks, from the strange woman who can bring you down because of the way she speaks, from that strange guy who can bring you down because of the way he looks, because he visits the gym every single day. Wow. May Yah Elohim have compassion upon us, that he may deliver us all from the strange men and strange women, and connect us unto the righteous souls of Yah Elohim. For it is written that in the latter days, behold, I will make man who is righteous more precious than gold, that many shall take hold of him who is a Hebrew, a righteous Hebrew. Amen. And say that we have heard and we have been told and now we have seen that indeed the Elohim you worship, he is Elohim, that go before us and we will follow you even into the mountain of Israel, that we may call upon the Almighty who has saved us from destruction. This should be our testimony. This should be our goal, that come what may, as long as we have life, we shall abandon father, friends, and every single man and follow the one who created the earth and the heavens. This should be our testimony. May Yah Elohim be praised now and forevermore. Amen. And we know for sure that today he will speak unto us again, as we began last week speaking on the topic relationships. Relationships and marriage. These are the things they ought to teach us in churches. But all that they teach the women is pay your tithe and you will find a husband. Pay your tithe and someone will come and marry you. And you have been paying and paying, yet where is the man?
Sow a seed.
When the good man came, you said, I know he's too broke. You want already made. Someone who is driving in Range Rover. You don't even want the old version. You want 2017 version. And now you chased him away and you thought that because you have been paying your tithe, that he will bring a man who will watch over you for good and riches. Even when you cheat, he will still be there with you. And now you find yourself Mike Tyson, who doesn't care whether you are pregnant, who doesn't care whether you are crying. As long as you are there, he will be boxing with your head. Is that what you want, ladies? Mercy. May Yah Elohim have compassion upon us. Right. So when Yah Elohim sent a righteous man unto thee, don't ask whether he has car. Don't ask whether he has dollars everywhere. When he's coming, dollars are following him.
Hey, the American dollar or Surinamese dollar.
They want the Yankee one. But pray unto Yah Elohim that he may deliver you from darkness. In the book of Revelation, he said that I counsel thee to buy from me gold, tried in fire, Amen. So that I may anoint your eyes with eye salve so that you may see. Amen. For you are declaring in your churches that you see and you dream, yet there is no one coming your way. When that righteous man came, you chased him away because he did not have a car. You chased him away because of the way that he looked. You said that he did not have six-pack. So you chased him away.
Six-pack.
You chased him away because you said that the way that he looked, you didn't like it. You want someone who looked like the Hollywood stars.
Fresh.
But all the Hollywood stars have divorced and remarried.
Wow.
And they are the ones you are following.
Wow.
They are your role models right now.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt and the rest.
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
Second-hand people.
Kardashian.
All of them are
Fake.
all of them from head to toe are fake.
That's right.
And these are the ones you follow.
Kardashian.
But when people who are real in Amsterdam, in Europe, in Ghana, in Asia come to you, you don't want them. You want fake Hollywood-made stars. And now you are crying, searching for a man, and there is no man. You are crying, searching for a woman, and there is no woman. May Yah Elohim have compassion upon us. So last week we were able to show you that Elohim created man and woman. And he has decreed from the beginning that we should love the one we marry and not marry the one we love.
Please come again.
Elohim has decreed from the beginning of time that we should not marry the one we love, but rather love the one that we marry.
That's deep.
But nowadays we are walking around thinking that lust is love. I saw him and I felt something in my belly, so that is love. Go and stand in the street of Amsterdam. You will see many women. You will feel something in your belly.
That's right.
Does that mean that you love them? Does that mean that you must be with them? It is about time that we should begin to pray for Yah Elohim to grant unto us the ability to discern. The difference between the old generation and this generation with regards to relationships and marriage is the fact that they had information. This generation refuses to read and to do research. They are moved by feelings. They are moved by how a man looks. They are moved by how a woman walks. They are moved because the guy has all kinds of muscles on him. And then they can take even pictures and send it to you. Wearing only trousers. And then when you see their upper body, you begin to melt. Then you are like, oh, this is so beautiful. You are going to hell, my friend. Repent and return back to the way of righteousness. And stop watching these crazy people visiting gym every day because they want to have you as their slave in bed. Any man or woman who comes into your life who cannot draw you closer to Elohim, run away. When a man comes into your life and all that he is talking about is what he's going to do to you in bed, run away. A man should be able to depict the character of the Messiah. He should be the one who should lead you into the path of righteousness. But you don't want those people. You want to hear people who whisper into your ears when you are lying down on your bed. At 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., you want someone to tell you that he's going to use his fingers on you. He's going to use his tongue on you. He's going to use sticks on you. You want to hear those kind of things. But when a righteous man tells you that maybe let us stand up and pray, you know.
That's right.
You don't want such a man in your life, but you want a crazy guy.
That's right.
Who only talks about using his 10 fingers on you. And then now you begin to imagine crazy things. You want him to use his tongue on you. Who are you?
Hey, lick it.
What manner of woman are you?
Mercy, oh yeah.
May Yah Elohim have compassion upon us all.
Amen.
If he does not send into this world crazy and mad preachers, not even one soul will be saved.
That's right.
Because all these preachers sing songs of Babylon into your ears. They tell you that it shall be well, but you know that it is not well. But from the beginning of times, Elohim has declared that we must obey him, whether it is snowing, whether it is raining,
Amen.
whether the sun is shining, whether in the evening, in the afternoon, in the morning, and in the night. Repent and return back unto Yah Elohim, and peradventure he might have compassion upon your soul. So let the man who says that he loves you first show the love that he has for Elohim.
Amen.
Otherwise run away.
That's right.
Or in hell you will lift up your eyes. Let that woman who claims that she loves you depict the character of the ancient women in the Bible.
Hallelujah.
Otherwise run away from them.
Amen.
Or they will lead you into hell.
Wow.
This should be the thing that we must know. So last week we covered lust and love. And our brother was able to show you from the Greek perspective.
Greek perspective.
He broke it down. It's Greek language and all kinds of statements. But today we are going raw.
That's right.
I have seen in the Hebrew group on Facebook, many people do not know what to do anymore. They ask themselves, can we marry outside the tribe of Israel?
Oh.
Is it lawful for a Hebrew to marry outside his tribe?
I don't like black women, you know.
If you have not listened to the topic or the teaching on who are the Hebrews, and you are listening to this, you might be confused. Elohim, he revealed his secret to Jacob or the Hebrews, not any other nations.
That's right.
And he has commanded us to follow him wherever that we might be.
Hallelujah.
So is it lawful for the Hebrews, the ones who call themselves Hebrew Israelites, to marry outside their tribe? But who told you that you are a Hebrew? Who commanded you that you are a Hebrew?
It's a question.
Are you saying that you are a Hebrew because you were born in Ghana? Are you saying that you are a Hebrew because your forefathers went into slavery? Are you saying that you are a Hebrew because maybe you had a dream? Are you saying that you are a Hebrew because you don't eat swine's flesh? Even Arabs don't eat
That's
swine's
right.
flesh.
Come on, you're preaching.
So who is a Hebrew?
It's a question.
But unto the Hebrew, I say, yet not I, but Yah Elohim, that it is better for you to remain with your own.
Wow.
From Genesis to Revelation, I'm about to show you why it is essential for you to be very careful.
I already have.
Do not be led by lust.
Amen.
Do not be led by the way you feel like. Do not be led. I always ponder about these things, and I came to the conclusion that the way we feel attracted to people were shaped by where we lived.
Wow. Could you repeat that, please?
I don't know what I said, but what I can tell you is that
Amen.
when it comes to how we feel, you know, if you were living in those days, let's say in Ghana, there were no white people, no Arab people. You were only dealing with Ghanaian people.
Ghana ladies.
You will feel attracted to them. But now you have many options.
Yes.
Because you dwell among many nations.
Chinese.
So some people will be like, I don't feel attracted to my own. That is good and bad. So we will go into the book so that you may know from the beginning of times who declared this.
Okay.
Genesis to Revelation, new and old. I told you last week that you have to be very careful when it comes to the things in the scriptures. That when you are about to do certain things, that you seek out one verse to justify your behavior. That you begin to say that, but how about Moses? Here we know that he married an Ethiopian woman from the land of Midian. But what happened to Moses?
It's a question.
This was a man who fled from captivity and went into the land of the Midianites. For 40 years he was living there. There were no Hebrews living there. Now, what are the names of the children of Moses? How come we don't read about the names of his children?
Wow, it's a question.
Look at this higher man, a great man of Elohim. Even his children are unknown. Do you know why they are unknown?
Tell us.
But Yah Elohim said that, but my servant Moses, he is different than all of you.
Amen.
Why? Because he is faithful in all of the gates of Israel. Now when there was even a small matter before him, he will be like, hold up, and let me consult Elohim first. Therefore it was accounted unto him righteousness. Now look at Abraham, you say that, and Abraham also married strange women. But look at it. When he had a son with Hagar the slave, it was said and declared unto him that send this boy away, the bondwoman, and that guy away, for they will not have any inheritance with thee. And unto the sons of Keturah he gave gifts.
That's right.
But unto us was the promise of Yah Elohim, because he had the seed of the Almighty. How about Solomon? Where is Solomon? For it is written that, behold, Solomon, he loved many strange women.
That's right.
As long as he was dating Hebrew women, it was fine in the eyes of Elohim. Did he not declare and said unto David that, David, even if you wanted many more other women from your tribe, I would have given you. But why do you break my heart to the extent that now you go and kill someone and take over the wife? So we are about to show you from Genesis to Revelation why it is very essential to be very careful when it comes to choosing your mate. Because the person you end up with will determine whether you make it home or not.
Wow. Home run.
If you play around with your salvation, your wife will send you to hell.
Wow.
If you play around with your salvation, your man will send you to hell. So it is vital that you know what to do when it comes to marriage. Now unto the married people I say, yet not I but Elohim, that now you are bound for life.
What?
Whether stranger
What?
or not, you are bound for life.
How do you mean bound for life?
Give me the book of 1 Corinthians 7, and then from verse 2 will be fine. If you are at home, 1 Corinthians from the New Testament, chapter 7 and at verse 2. Listen to the book.
First Corinthians chapter 7 verse 2.
Listen.
Nevertheless,
To
avoid fornication.
To avoid 1 Corinthians 7.
1 Corinthians chapter 7
And at verse 12, listen.
verse 12. But to the rest
speak I,
not the master.
if any brother,
Had a wife that believeth
he
not.
said, to the rest, Paul said that I am speaking, not Yah, because this commandment is not from Yah.
If any brother had a wife,
If
that
you have a
believeth not,
wife who is Chinese, who is from Morocco, who is from any other tribe, who believeth not in your Elohim,
and she be pleased to dwell with him,
and you want to dwell with him or her,
let him not
I
put
think
her
we need
away.
to start over again. for
you
the sake
cannot
of the
put
moment.
that person away.
Please, what were you reading?
The book of 1 Corinthians 7 and at verse 12.
1 Corinthians chapter 7.
And at verse 12. Listen once again.
But to the rest speak I,
Not.
the Yahuwah.
So this is not the commandment of Yah Elohim. So when you are running to this verse, be careful. For this is not the decree from Elohim himself.
That's right.
But this is an advice. Listen.
If any brother
If any brother
hath a wife
has a wife
that believeth not,
or a husband who believeth not,
and she be pleased to dwell with
and
him,
you want to dwell with that person,
let him not put her away.
do not put that person away. Why?
And the woman
And the woman,
which hath an husband that believeth not,
listen,
and if he be pleased to dwell with her,
go ahead.
let her not leave him.
So this is an advice. But what was the decree by Elohim? Let's go to Old Testament. The book of Deuteronomy 7 from verse 3 to verse 6. If you are at home, Deuteronomy 7. The last book of Moshe 7.
That's right.
Chapter 3 to verse, chapter 7 from verse 3 to 6. Listen,
Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3.
listen.
Neither shalt thou make,
Neither shalt thou, the thou are the Hebrews.
that's right, make marriages with them.
You cannot make marriages with them. Why?
Thy daughter
Thy daughters,
thou shalt not give unto his
you
son,
cannot give unto their sons,
nor his daughter
nor their daughters.
shalt thou take unto thy son,
Listen,
for they will turn away.
this is the main reason why he warned us, that they will turn away what?
Thy son from
Thy
following me.
sons and thy daughters. Why? Because the women are the one who raise up the children.
That's right.
So if they do not believe, for you Hebrew men who are walking around talking about the seed is from the man. Talking around that the seed is from the man. So as long as the seed is yours, then it's fine. You are not going to raise the children,
That's right.
but the woman.
That's right.
Listen to the book.
That they may serve other else.
So that they may serve other else.
So will the anger of Yahuwah
And when they begin to serve other else, the anger of the Almighty shall be kindled,
against you.
and he will suddenly destroy you.
That's right.
Listen,
But thus shall ye deal with them,
he shall destroy their altars,
and break down their images,
and cut down their groves.
and burn their graven images with fire.
For thou art a set apart or a holy people
Kadesh.
unto Yah thy Elohim,
Amen. Yah thy Elohim hath chosen thee
to be a special people
unto himself,
above all people.
that are upon the face
No,
of
we
the
are
earth.
all the same because of the blood.
Above all people that are upon
No,
the
we
face
are all
of the
the
earth.
same because the blood.
He has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Above all the people, the Hebrews are the special vessels of Yah Elohim.
Wow.
This is the sayings of Yah Elohim, not me,
Amen.
not your pastor, not Moses. So what does it mean when he said that they shall turn your heart from following me? 1 Kings chapter 11, and then from verse 1, if you are at home, 1 Kings chapter 11, and at verse 1, listen to the book.
The book of 1 Kings chapter 11, starting from verse 1.
Listen.
But King Solomon
So unto the Hebrews, King Solomon,
loved many strange women,
he loved many strange women.
together with the daughter of Pharaoh,
Listen, together with the daughter of Pharaoh from Kemet or Egypt,
women of the Moabites,
women of the Moabites,
women of the Ammonites,
the Ammonites,
Edomites,
even Edomites,
Zidonians,
the Sidonians,
and Hittites,
and the Hittites.
and of the nations concerning
Now
which
listen to this. Yah Elohim has already warned his people that they should not do what? For the nations.
should of the nations concerning which Yahuwah said unto the children of Israel.
Who said it? Moses?
Yahuwah said unto the
Justice
children
said
of
it.
Yahuwah said unto
An
the
angel
children of
said it.
Israel. Yahuwah said unto the children of
Moses
Israel.
said it unto the
Yahuwah.
children of Israel that they should not
go into them.
go into them,
Neither shall they come into you.
neither shall they come into you.
For surely
For surely,
they will turn away your
for
heart.
surely Elohim, who knows the end from the beginning, he who knows every single thing what will happen, said surely
They will turn away your heart
they will of course turn your heart
after their else.
after their elders or their gods.
Solomon
But Solomon,
clave unto these in love,
he cleaved unto these many strange women.
and he had 700 wives,
Now he had 700 wives,
princesses,
princesses,
and 300
and
concubines.
300 concubines.
And his wives
And his wives,
turned away his heart.
they turned away his heart. As Yah Elohim has commanded him, verse 4, listen.
For it came to pass,
Then it came to pass,
when Solomon was old,
when Solomon was old,
that his wives turned away his
that
heart
his wife turned away his heart
after other else,
after other else.
and his heart
And his heart
was not perfect with
was
Yahuwah.
no more perfect with Yah Elohim, so he died and went to hell. That's all that it means. And now look at the punishment for Solomon at verse 11 to 14. Listen.
1 Kings chapter 11 verse 11. Wherefore
Wherefore,
Yahuwah said unto Solomon,
the Most High said unto Solomon,
For as much as this is done
for
of thee,
as much as you who had wisdom, you have been able to do this,
and thou hast not kept my
and
covenant
you have not kept the commandment that I commanded your forefathers,
and my statutes,
and my statutes and my laws,
which I have commanded thee,
which I have commanded thee,
I will surely rend the kingdom from
I
thee,
will, because of what you have done, I will destroy the kingdom,
and I will give it to thy servant,
and I will give it to thy servant. Listen,
notwithstanding,
notwithstanding, because of the prayers of your father David,
in thy days.
in thy days I will not perform this.
I will not do it for David thy
For
father's sake,
David thy servant's sake, listen.
but I will rent it out
But I will rent it out
of the hand of thy son.
of the hand of thy son.
Howbeit,
Howbeit,
I will not rend away all the
I will
kingdom,
not take away all the kingdom,
but I will give on one tribe
but I will give one tribe
to thy son for David
to
my
thy
servant's
son
sake,
David my servant's sake. Right?
which I have chosen.
Which I have chosen.
And Yahuwah stirred up,
And then listen to this very carefully. He said that he married an Edomite, people from Kemet, people from Moab.
that's right.
And now listen to what Elohim did.
Verse 14. And Yahuwah stirred up
And
an
then the
adversary.
Most High stirred up an enemy.
Wow.
Who was he?
Unto Solomon,
Unto Solomon.
Hadad,
And Hadad, who was who?
the Edomite.
He was what?
The Edomite.
And what happened?
He was the king's seed in Edom.
He was the king's seed of Edom when he commanded Saul to kill all of them, and he did not. And some of them escaped. He said that they will become a thorn in your flesh. Listen to the book.
Verse 15. For it came to pass,
For it came to pass
when David
when David
was in Edom,
was in Edom,
and Joab,
and Joab,
the captain of the host,
the
was
captain
gone
of the host, was gone up
up to bury the slain,
to bury the slain,
after he had smitten every man
after he was commanded to destroy all the males of Edom
for 6 months.
for 6 months.
Did Joab remain there with all Israel,
This Edomite remained there with all Israel.
until he had cut off every male in Edom.
Listen,
Verse 17. That Hadad fled,
but Hadad, the one who is now going to fight against Solomon, he fled to where?
he and a certain Edomites
He and certain Edomites
of his father's servants with
of
him,
his father's servants with him
to go into Egypt.
to go into Egypt.
Hadad being yet a little child, and they arose out of Midian.
So that's all that I want. You see that Elohim used the same people he married to bring him down. When you look at the fall of the people of Israel, the same thing happened. The same people he commanded them not to mingle with, and they did it. He said that because you have done this, I will call unto myself people who were not a people to rule over you.
Okay.
And now let's look at what Nehemiah did. In the book of Nehemiah 13, from verse 20 and 3, still touching on the topic, can the Hebrews, not the other nations, can the Hebrews marry outside their tribes? The book of Nehemiah 13 verse 20 and 3.
Nehemiah chapter 13 verse 23.
Listen.
In those days also saw I Jews.
I, Nehemiah, I saw the people of Judah, which were the Levites, the people of the tribe of Judah and the Benjamites. Listen.
That had married wives.
They had married wives. So you who say that, oh, it's all about my seed. How can you make this statement? That is all about your seed because you are a man. How about the Hebrew women then if they want to marry other nations?
That's a question.
Then you will say it is unlawful. Listen to the book.
Also saw I Jews that had married
I
wives.
saw the people of Judah who had married wives
Of Ashdod.
of Ashdod,
Of Ammon.
and
of Moab.
of Moab. Listen.
And their children.
And their children. So the men married the wives from other nations and their children. Listen.
Spake half in the speech of Ashdod.
They were able to speak in the foreign language. Meaning they had the doctrines of the foreign language,
And could not speak in the Jews'
but
language.
they did not know Yah Elohim, because I have told you that the women are the ones who raise up the children.
Wow.
So for you Hebrew men who declare that it's all about your seed because you are a man, you will be outside fitnessing and she will be brainwashing them. Listen to the book.
But according to the language of each people.
But according to the language of each people, listen.
And I contended with them.
And then I was furious with them.
And cursed them.
And I did what?
Cursed them.
And I cursed the man who had married strange ladies. Listen.
And smote certain of them.
And I began to bite and fight certain of them.
And plucked off their hair.
And I removed even their hairs from their head. Listen.
And made them swear by
And
Elohim.
then I made them swear by the Almighty, saying, Ye shall not
Give your daughters.
Ye shall not give your daughters,
Unto their sons.
nor take their daughters,
Unto your sons.
all for
Yourselves.
He was commanding the men. So who gave you the right to say that it's all about your seed? Because you are a man. Is it not written that he will visit his punishment on the third and fourth generation of them who break his law?
Amen.
You think Yah Elohim care about your so-called seed? Listen.
Nehemiah chapter 13 verse 20 and 6. Did not Solomon
Now they are making reference. They are saying that did not Solomon, king of Israel,
sin by these
by
things?
these same things, by going outside the strife, did he not sin?
Yet among many nations,
Yet among many nations was there no,
king like him,
listen,
who was beloved of his El.
yet Elohim loved him.
And Elohim made him king over all Israel.
Nevertheless, even him,
Did outlandish.
women caused him to sin.
That's right.
Now look at the Edomite women. Do you really think that they care about Yah Elohim? And I told you last week that if that woman doesn't become a righteous person before you marry, you would think that you are you a righteous man? Do you think that Yah Elohim care because you are born a Hebrew and you are not keeping his laws?
That's right.
Listen.
Verse 20 and 7. Shall we then hearken unto you
So shall we then hearken unto you
to do all this great evil
to transgress against Elohim,
in marrying
to
strange
transgress against Yah Elohim in marrying strange?
wives?
That's all that I want. The book of Joshua 20 and 3. And at verse 11, if you are at home, the book of Joshua 20 and 3. And verse 11, listen.
Joshua chapter 23, verse 11.
I am laying a foundation and then I will show you why it is dangerous to do so, especially in these latter days. Listen.
Take good heed,
Be very careful,
therefore, unto yourselves, that ye love Yahuwah,
so that you begin to love the Almighty,
your Elohim.
thy Elohim.
Else,
Otherwise,
if ye do in any wise,
if you do in any wise,
go back
and
cleave unto the remnant
and cleave or marry unto the remnant
of these nations,
of these other nations who do not believe in Yah Elohim, they believe in dollars. Listen.
Even these that remain among you,
Even these who are now among you, they live among you.
and shall make marriages with them,
And you shall do what?
make marriages
You will
with them,
begin to make marriages with them.
and go in unto them,
And then you will go in unto them and have kids.
and they to you.
And they will come unto you and marry you.
Verse 13.
Listen.
Know for a certainty
This you must know,
that Yahuwah your
that the
Elohim
Most High, the Almighty,
will no more drive out any of these
once you
nations.
begin to do that, there is a punishment coming and prepared for the Gentiles. Once you begin to do this, this is our punishment. What will happen?
Yahuwah Elohim will no more drive out any of these nations
The
from before
Almighty
you,
will no more drive out these nations from before us.
but they shall be snares
But they will begin to become snares
and traps
and traps
unto you,
unto us.
and scourges in thy side,
And they will begin to destroy you.
and thorn in your eyes,
And they will begin to become torn in your eyes.
until ye perish.
Until you do what?
Until ye perish.
Before they went into that country, the nations, they were able to overcome all these crazy nations. And Yah Elohim said, once you begin to marry them, then they shall rule over you. That's why we are still poor, but we have gold.
Wow.
That's why we sit on oil, but yet we are still poor.